Hello everyone, so welcome to week 3 of the theory quiz for grades 3 and 4. I hope you've all had a lovely half term, but first we'll go through the answers to last week's quiz. So go find your answers and get ready to mark. So question number 1, what minor key signature has 3 sharps? It is F sharp minor. So we've gone down a minor third from A major, so A major has 3 sharps and we're finding the relative minor.
Question number 2. Which interval is wider, a perfect fifth or an augmented fifth? It is, of course, the augmented fifth.
Question number 3. Which form of the minor scale is the same both ascending and descending? It is, of course, question number A, it is the harmonic scale. So the melodic scale is when you raise the 6th and the 7th on the way up and have just the key signature on the way down. So melodic changes, but harmonic is always the same.
Question number 4. So this one you need to draw a stave or find some manuscript paper. So that note in bass clef, well, it's a middle C, so it goes there in a bass clef, sort of in like a mirror. It's like a reflection, if you imagine, where the reflecting line is that middle C. So instead of being at the very bottom, it's at the very top. There we go.
Question number 5. What do the responses, Psalm, Magnificat, and Nunc all have in common? They all contain the Gloria. At some point within those works, the Gloria happens. Well done if you got that.
Next question, question number 6. So how are the time signatures of 2/4 and 6/8 similar? Okay, so they're both duple time signatures. Okay, one of them is simple duple time signature. The other is a compound duple time signature. But the big point is that you have 2 main beats in each bar in these time signatures. 2 crotchet beats in 2/4 and 2 dotted crotchet beats in 6/8. A little bit fiddly, that one. You need to be happy with simple and compound time signatures, but well done if you got it.
So question number 7. What is the technical name of the 7th scale degree? It is the leading note. So it leads to the tonic. And it always has to do that. So in a piece, if you sing the 7th note of a scale, quite often your next note will be the tonic.
Question number 8. What major key has this key signature? So it's a key signature of 4 flats. And so, of course, it's A flat major. Remember, with flat key signatures, the second to last flat tells us what the major key note is, what the major tonic is. And so, as you can see, the flats here, we've got B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. The penultimate one there is A flat, so it's A flat major.
Question number 9. How many scale degrees are there? There are 7. So 8 is the same as number 1. So we're resetting each time we get to 8.
Right, yes. Question number 10. So when describing time signatures, what does simple mean? Well, we've already touched on this one. And basically, it means that each beat division is divided into 2 rather than 3. So simple time signatures might have a 2 or a 4 at the bottom. So it's like 2 crotchets in a bar, and a crotchet you split into 2 quavers, or a minim you split into 2 crotchets. It's all like regular in 2s. Whereas compound time signatures, you go into 3s. So like 6/8. You have 2 dotted crotchet beats, and each dotted crotchet beat has 3 quavers in.
Question 11. A G sharp sounds the same as an A flat. That is true.
Question number 12. An E sharp sounds the same as an F flat. This one's false, okay? Because an E sharp is an F natural, because of course there's no black note between E and F, like there is between G and A. So well done if you got that one.
Question 13. Name 3 families of orchestral instruments. So you can have any 3 of the string family, woodwind, brass, or percussion. So you need 3 of those.
Question number 14. What is this called? It's called a duplet. Similar to a triplet, but there are 2 parts to it rather than 3. Duplet.
And question 15, how do we change a minor scale? How do we change a major scale into a harmonic minor scale? Well, a few things we have to do. We have to flatten a third and the 6th note and raise the 7th note. So we get that minor third at the beginning, and then we also flatten the 6th, and then there's that final, that leading note has to be raised, so it leads all the way up to the tonic.
Good. And then the last question, question number 6, because don't forget we had an extra question this week. Question 16, it was what the key signature of F minor? It's 4 flats, and we had the major key that has 4 flats earlier in the quiz, which was A flat major. So F minor is the relative minor of A flat major. 4 flats, good stuff. So that's the answers from last week. So as with last week as well, if you've got a question or you want to get in touch with us, then do send us, get an adult to send us an email at this email address. We'll do our best to get back in touch with you. So it's time for this week's quiz. Are you ready? Are you ready, Miss Morgan?
Okay.
Good. So
question number 1. We did think of something a bit different this week. We've given you a piece to look at. So this is the Matthias Jesus service. So first of all, can you describe the starting time signature on this page? So there's quite a few on this page, but look at the starting one. I want the number of beats, what type they are.
question number 2, what does vivace e ritmico mean? So that's the tempo marking that we've got at the top of the page. What does it mean? Break it down into its components. So what does vivace mean? What does air mean? What does ritmico mean? 2 marks for that one, because there's really 2 main things to say.
So true or false, all the notes in the alto part are in the key of F major. So that alto part is the 2nd line down, so it's below your treble line, and think, what's the key of F major? And are all the notes that the alto is singing, do they all fall within that key? So pause this video, just look at it as long as you like, but true or false?
Question number 4. So we're on the next page of music now. So what is the interval between the soprano and alto parts on the 3rd line? So find the 3rd line. Oh, I might be able to use my pointer here. So I've got this laser pointer. So 1st line, 2nd line, 3rd line. So the soprano and alto parts are here. Okay, don't be put off by the tenor part, just ignore that for now. But what interval? It's the same interval, pretty much, consistently for the whole line.
So we need type of interval and the number. Question 5, what is the highest note in the organ on the bottom line? So hint here, check your class.
Question number 6, true or false? So we've got a different part of the piece now. The alto and bass parts are singing in unison. Okay, so you need to know what the word unison means here. And if you do, then you should be fine. So alto and bass parts, this is the alto one here, that's the bass one there. Are they singing in unison or aren't they?
Question 7 on the next page. Can you name the interval, so both type and number, between the 2 soprano parts on Asians? So that is that last bar of vocal music. So being circled there. So what is that interval between dec and can?
Question number 8. So we've finally got to the last page. What does allargando mean? So allargando, you might not be able to see it actually. It might be covered up by our faces. But rest assured, at the very top right-hand side of the page, allargando is written above the music. It's another tempo marking, so what does it mean? And you might be able to, if you're not 100% sure, use the context here to work it out. Think about what markings we normally have at the ends of pieces. What common tempo transformations we have.
So question number 9. On a similar vein, what does meno mosso mean? So that's in that 2nd to last bar. It's following on from the previous allargando, got meno mosso. So think meno is normally a descriptive word, or mosso the 2nd word.
Question number 10. What do we call it when 2 keys are being played at once. When two keys are being played at once.
So this is a feature that happens quite often in this piece, and it creates some strange effects. So moving on to some general theory questions now. Question 11. What is the key signature of E flat major?
Question number 12. We want you to draw a semiquaver rest. Think really carefully about what a semiquaver is. You don't need manuscript paper or anything for this. But what does a rest look like if it's a semiquaver rest?
Question 13. What does FP mean? So it's normally called forte piano, and think literally try and describe what those two terms next to each other would mean.
Question 14. What does rubato mean? Rubato. It's a wonderful concept, and there's great discourse about it as well in terms of the different kinds of rubato. But in very general ABRSM grade 5 theory terms, what does rubato mean?
And finally, question 15. Is 12/8 duple, triple, or quadruple? So this is referring to how many beats are within this time signature. So try and remember what kind of beats we get in a time signature with an 8 at the bottom. So what are our big main beats?
Lovely. And that's it. That's the whole quiz. So thank you very much for watching. Do watch it again if you need to have another look. And we look forward to seeing you next week when we go through the answers. And as always, yeah, if you've got any questions or anything, do get in touch. So bye-bye, Miss Morgan. I'll see you next week.
Bye, Miss Morrell.